Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host, and I'm so happy to be here. Normally, this would be a production of 1 2 Radio, but of course, 1 2 Radio is quiet for the next 2 weeks for the holiday, but I just couldn't stay away. So I'm doing my show anyway, just via live stream. So I do have an eye on the chat we are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. And so I'm keeping an eye on the chat in both places. So you are more than welcome to comment in either place. You can ask me for a reading. You can add to the conversation, whatever you'd like to do. So I hope that you guys are doing well. It is, of course, the 22nd. We're just a few days from D-Day here. I hope you guys are hanging in there. There's definitely been a bit of bit of stress around my house, mostly self-imposed through insisting on probably taking on too many projects. But hey, how many is too many? I did bring a few show and tells for you today because, you know, I've got some fun stuff I want to make sure that, I just want to share. So hopefully I don't have family members in the chat today, or if I do, avert your eyes because I just want to share a few fun things. So hello, Mary, and hello, Lillian. We might be a small group today where we're not on 1 2 Radio, but I don't care. I'll tell you what, it's always been my theory that the people that need to be here will be here, and that's how it goes. By the way, look at this beautiful mug. It came UPS today from a dear friend and listener. Appreciate her so much. Thank you, dear friend. I love it. It'll probably be my new radio mug because it's so pretty. It's suitable, it's better. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Pamela. Probably better than, a Fresca can. But okay, well, should we do a little show and tell? Okay, so I've been making these little lanterns. Trying to hold it in a way that you can see their angel wings. There. But I want you to be able to get the effect of seeing both sides of it so that you can see, the matching set. See that? Aren't they pretty? So any way you look at it, you have your little matching set. Aren't those cute? Yeah. So I made that one, and I also have made, that's pretty. That one shows up better. This one is glittery, and I think it's just catching some light. But anyway, this one, the purple one, is really pretty. Yeah, pretty cute. One of them is going to my niece, and I don't know. I made 3. I'm not sure who else is getting them. Maybe me. I am loving them. Okay, a little more show and tell. So these are keychains. These are going in all of the stockings of the girls. So all the girls are getting one of these. I'll explain to you why in a minute if you don't know, if you haven't seen these before. But this one's super cute. It's kind of a pearly color, and then it has silver flake and crushed flowers up in the ears and up the forehead. So what these are is they are self-defense tools. So you have what looks like a kitty. So in most places, you can have this on your backpack, your purse, your keys, whatever. They're big. No one's going to really put this on their keys and put them in their pocket, right? But they are going to, you could put it on your backpack or your purse or whatever. So you have your finger holes here, and this could be a weapon if needed. So they're just a little self-defense tool that girls can pack around that, maybe doesn't look quite so, scary or like a weapon, but could be used as a weapon in the case of needing one. So that's a few of the ones that I made. But yep, all the girls in our family are getting these in their stockings this year. And then one of my daughters, my kids are always finding cool resin projects for me and sending them over. And she sent me over a set of self-defense molds, more self-defense molds. And she had a very specific request for hers. So this is part of that mold. But they're also little self-defense tools that you could put on your keys or your bag or your backpack. And this came from a whole set, but I'm only showing you a couple of them. But so they're dark green handles, and then the top of them are poured in wildflowers, crushed wildflowers, and silver. Anyway, they're kind of cute, I think. They're kind of fun. So that's what she wanted. And frankly, her university has a pretty good problem with sexual assault on campus. And she buys a parking pass, a ways away from her buildings. Now, obviously, there's not much going on campus right now, but next semester she should be back on campus. So, anyway, we've always made sure that she has pepper spray on her backpack and stuff like that. But, you know, there is closer parking, but it is like 3 times as much money. For really good parking at her university, it's like $700 for a parking pass for the semester. Or maybe it's for the year, I'm not sure. You know. So she does something cheaper and walks further, but we just want to make sure she's safe. So, anyway, she thought these were awesome, so I made her a whole set. There's a bunch of them, but this is just 2 of them. And then this keychain. Now, I'm going to say it right now. If this offends you, I'm sorry. It's not meant to. But a lot of my family members are going to love these. This is going in most of the adult stockings. It's a keychain. Most of them are blue, this glittery blue, and you can't see the word super good, I don't think. Maybe that's better. I don't know if you can tell, but it says, "We just did 46." If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say about that because we're not here to be political or have a political fight. But yeah, the adults in my family will go crazy for these in their stockings. So that's a few of the things that I've been making. Trying to get some things wrapped up. I've still got a lot of projects halfway done in the works. Poor Scott, he's basically spent the last 2 days running behind me, trying to keep me on track and finishing stuff that I started and need help finishing. So that's where I'm at. But it's good. We're just kind of in crunch time. And I had decided this year, it's COVID, it's quarantine, we're home. I'm going to make a good deal of our Christmas gifts this year. And I have. And so has Scott, you guys, you know how he is. He's done a lot as well. So, anyway, that's kind of the stuff going on in my world right now. I will have all my kids home for Christmas. So that's always good. Everybody will be home by the end of tomorrow, I think. And we'll have close to 7 days together, 5 days, I think. So, yeah, very excited for that and excited to just have that time. Now, we are going to spend Christmas with my sisters and their families. That's kind of the bubble that we keep ourselves in. And all of those guys had COVID a few weeks ago, but we did not. So everyone's still being super, super careful, of course. And, obviously, I'm in line. I'm on the high risk list, so I'm hoping to get the vaccine here in the next couple of months. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I know some of you guys really don't want to get the vaccine, and I can honor that. But for me, it's the right decision for my health. But anyway, I love seeing you guys all here in the chat. And I'm seeing your questions, so I'll definitely do my best to get to as many of them as I can. So let's talk about some stuff. Did you guys see the Bethlehem Star last night? It was overcast here. I did see that a few people around here kind of caught a glimpse of it in between passing clouds. I didn't. I walked out one time. It was really cold and windy and crappy, and I went, nah, not going to happen for me tonight. Maybe it got very clear. I couldn't believe it. I went out about 3:30. The dogs started bugging around needing to go potty, and we got up and went out, and the skies were absolutely clear. I couldn't believe it. So we did get a peek of it then, but not like when it first came out when it was super bright. So it's okay, but it's kind of fun. I think that it's a cool thing, and we know that it doesn't happen very often, and I usually really love all that astrological stuff. So, well, not necessarily the astrological stuff, but just, what's going on in the sky. That's pretty profound. I just always think about how, my ancestors stood under these same skies. They looked at these same stars, they looked at the same moon, they looked at the same constellations, the same astrological events happening. There's just something really I think life affirming to that. But I wanted to do some work today on balance as well. And I have to laugh because I wanted to do some work on balance because I felt like we need it. And when I showed up to start the show, I realized I never published Luminous this morning. Speaking of balance, I just dove into other projects and forgot. So it's actually like almost completely done and ready to publish. I just didn't do it. So after the show, I promise Luminous will come out for this week. But somebody around here needs to ground, apparently. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to. But anyway, I wanted to do some sound therapy to work on grounding with you guys and balancing. One thing I've heard from many of you around this winter solstice is that you felt really, really ungrounded. And I've seen that in a lot of clients the last week. You guys calling me over at One Two Listen, really ungrounded, feeling like you can't focus, like you can't get anything done, maybe kind of like you're just spinning your wheels. And I think that these are things that we can definitely work on together. So that's what I'm thinking about. And that's what I want to work on with you guys today. And then, of course, we'll do some readings from the chat room as well. So I brought my balance drum. So we're going to do two different sound therapy things today. We're going to drum for balance, and then we're going to use the singing bowl to just brighten up your light, because that's the other thing I'm hearing from many of you is that you're feeling kind of flat, feeling kind of weird, out of balance. So we're going to work on both of those things and see if we can help get everybody in a brighter place, going into this week. Depending on how or if you're celebrating the holiday this year, it just seems like a little extra boost of energy for all of us could be really helpful. So, all righty. So, this is my balance drum. So, I'm going to drum. While I do that, all I want you to do is just close your eyes, relax, sit with the drum. You don't have to do anything special, just breathe, right? And allow the frequency of the singing drum or of the drum to just help to clear anything out of your energy body that isn't helping you and help you to ground and balance. So here we go. Good. Good. That felt super good to me. Definitely what I needed, and I hope that's helpful for you guys as well. Really funny fact about this drum. You guys have heard this drum lots of times. Yesterday, the puppy that's living at our house right now got a hold of one of the strings on this drum and pulled it on the floor, like off of a shelf, and it hit the floor pretty hard. And it changed the tenor of the drum. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually love it so much more now. It was a little bit tight before, and you had to hit it in just the right spot to draw some richness out of it. And she fixed it. So how crazy is that? I didn't even know that till I started playing it. So anyway, yay for balance and yay for naughty puppies, apparently. Okay. That is too funny. I love that drum though. Very, very special. Okay, so that's for balance. The other thoughts that I have for you about balance is that make sure that you're getting yourself outside a little bit. We've hit that point in the year where if you live in a place that is cold, you might be holding up inside a lot more than normal. And even if you don't, you might be experiencing some rain, you might be experiencing some dreary weather. We're just not getting outside as much as we normally do. And it's funny because it's been very windy today and I just looked out my office window and it is now snowing to beat the band. So, yay. I like to see that. This is the time of year I want the snow. Not so much in May, or September, but now we'll take it. It's supposed to be here now. Anyway, when I worked in early childhood, one of the things that we were always told is there's no such thing as bad weather, there's just bad clothing. And I think that applies to us as adults as well. Put on your warm stuff and go outside. Go sit with the trees for a while. Go breathe in the fresh air. Regardless of what the weather's doing, do try to get out. It really makes a difference. Mary said, I do try walks or hikes, sunny but crisp today. Nice. It's hard where I live. It is. And I have to make a really big effort to make myself go out because I don't want to. But connecting to that earth energy is really, really important. Yep, for sure. Pamela said she's seeing a lot of Dremel tools. I'm thinking of purchasing to be able to do some crafts. Oh, Pamela, you should. Actually, working with your hands is a grounding activity. It's really good for your root chakra and your sacral and your solar plexus. It's like the bottom three really benefit from working with your hands. So definitely do that. A few months ago, I told Scott, you know what I want for Christmas? I need a really good Dremel tool because I'm constantly borrowing his for something. And he ordered one because he wanted me to have this really special one that it has a cord on it so that the little part that's the Dremel part you can hold. It's good for smaller hands and like arthritic hands like mine. And it came a couple of months ago and he's like, I don't want to wait and, you need this now. I'm not going to wait and give this to you for Christmas. Let's do it now. So I've been enjoying it for a couple of months now, but very cool. I absolutely love it. And it was nice because the bigger ones, like, that's a big grip for me to hold on to a really big tool to be precise with. So this one has just the little cord on it that your tool goes on so you can hold it like a pencil, and be more precise. And that's been super, super helpful for me. So I don't know if that helps you, Pamela, but I know your hands are similar to mine. So, and sometimes my fine motor skills are appalling. I'll admit it. In fact, I have two gifts for my sisters that are amazing. They're stunning, but they need a little bit of paint work. I'm gilding the edges. And I've been fighting with myself for 2 days about, do I dare do it or do I just have Scott do it? Because again, I don't always trust my fine motor skills and I don't want to screw this up. So, I'm probably going to have Scott do it. It's fine. He won't mind, right? He has nothing else to do. Nothing at all. Sure. All right. Well, I'm just taking a look in the chat. Quelly said, I hope all is well. Last night was spectacular with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction and winter solstice. Good. I'm glad it was. I liked the energy of yesterday a lot. Hello, Sean. Lynn said, I would love for you to tap into my daughter and me. Lynn, I would love to do that. We'll get into readings here in just a little bit. Lily and I will answer your question as well. Yep. Maya, nice to see you. Yeah. Raining for Alishaya too. Yep, yep. Oh, look, it's not a Dremel brand, Pamela. He couldn't find he said Dremel used to make one like that, and he tried to buy one and couldn't find it, and that's why he ordered this one. So I'll let you know what brand it is, but it would you'd like it. It would be useful for you for sure. Okay. Well, we're not done with sound therapy today because I feel like that's just really what we need. I'm also not sure why my laptop isn't actually charging, but that might make for a short show. Let's see. One thing I wanted to mention, several of you have been asking me for the 12-month reading. So this is really fun. Every year, right about this time, I offer a 12-month reading that you can buy from me over at One to Listen. It's a video reading, so I will basically do the whole reading in front of my camera and record it for you so that you can go back and check on it because 12 months is a lot to remember. And lots of you guys buy those from me every year and then you come back and check on them, like once a month and or more. So they're coming. I'm not going to post it until next week, so I'll share it with you guys next Tuesday. I realized that I don't have time to do them this week. And the way it works at Once You Listen with email readings is you have 3 days basically to respond and hopefully to do the work, which I would love to do, but I don't have time. And so this week I'm not going to put them out. Next week I will. So I can do them between the week of Christmas and New Year's. And, clear up into January. Some of you guys wait and buy them, late in January, and I don't care. That's fine too. I'll keep it posted through January. So if you've been looking for it and waiting for it, that's what's happening with that. All right. Let's do some singing bowl work to turn up your light. So we're going to be focusing on your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is the chakra right above your belly button. Most people see it as yellow or gold. This is the chakra that is responsible for your self-esteem, your personal power, basically for the way you see yourself and the way you see the world, the way you think the world sees you. This is a really important part of you. It's where your fire is, it's where your light is. And so many of you turn this down. You go to any store or public place and you'll see people going to great lengths to cover up their solar plexus. Your purse, your diaper bag, your baby, your hands, anything you're carrying, you clamp it right over top of that solar plexus. And now that I've said it, you'll have to notice your body language and see if you do that too. A lot of people do that. They cover up their solar plexus because they're uncomfortable in some way. Either your confidence in yourself or in the situation that you are in might be a little shaky. So you'll have to watch now and see if you do it. My challenge for you, if you do, is to stop doing it and try to just allow your belly to be exposed. Allow the energy from your solar plexus to be exposed to the world. Shining your light is a harder job sometimes than you realize, especially if you're used to keeping yourself quiet. If you're used to not letting the world see your light so much, but keeping you kind of, keeping yourself dampened and hidden. So, I don't know. I think sometimes it's important for us to share our light and show our light to the world. The world needs it. If you've noticed, we're in a bit of a mess. And we need everyone's light for sure. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play the bowl. I'm going to play it twice. The first time I play it, I just want you to sit with your solar plexus. I want you to allow the frequency of the singing bowl to remove anything in your solar plexus that could be blocking your personal power, your confidence, or your light. So we're going to start there. Okay. All righty. So there's that. So now we're going to go back to the solar plexus. I'm going to play the bowl one more time. This time, my challenge for you is to amp up your light. See your solar plexus like you have a knob and you can control that light. And what I want you to do is to turn that knob onto full wattage and to allow the light of your solar plexus to brighten and brighten and brighten and brighten as I play the bowl until you have a brilliant light shining from your belly, shining out to the world, completely enveloping you in that light. So we'll start right here, turning up that light. Good. Good shift for me. Made me yawn. That's actually a good thing in this work. When you're doing energy work and it elicits some kind of a physical response, that tells you that you're moving the energy. That tells you that what you're doing is working. And for me, it's usually a yawn. I have colleagues who burp when the energy moves. So I'm pretty chill with the yawn, to be honest. But that's something that I think is kind of funny. But at any rate, all right. So that gives us a good foundation here. It gives us a good opportunity to raise up your vibe, get you going here, get you feeling more like yourself, I hope, and kind of on top of the energy around you. The other part of that is to, and we all, I'm sure, need to hear this to some capacity, be gentle with yourselves, be easy with yourselves. Christmas is going to come, it's going to be what it is, and it's completely okay, however, it shakes out. I think that sometimes we end up putting way too much pressure on ourselves, not just over Christmas, but in general, and this is a good time. It's a good reminder that, you know what? Things will be what they are, and it's good enough. You are good enough. You are enough. This is the time where so many people start panicking. My God, have I done enough? Have I spent enough? Have I cooked enough? Have I decorated enough? Yeah, you have. You have. It's okay. It's okay if you decided not to do a thing this year. It's been a hard year. It's all right if you decided that this year Christmas is going to be very low key. It's going to be nothing like it usually is. There's nothing wrong with that. I hope that you guys can give yourself plenty of opportunities to actually enjoy this season, to enjoy the quiet that the winter solstice brings with her, to enjoy the peace, this energy that's being ushered in without putting so much pressure on yourself to be something or do something that maybe is too much. So, examine that for you. I know I'm also speaking to myself when I say that. I want to pull a few cards from the Tarot of Transformation. Blah, blah, blah. That seems like a lot of words. And for all of us for the winter solstice, just to peek at the winter solstice energy for everybody. So this is just a collective read for the next 3 months. So I think I'll pull 3 cards. We'll see what comes out. And by the way, if you don't have this deck or have never seen it, it is so pretty. Very worth it. You can find it on Amazon. The Tarot of Transformation. It's not a traditional tarot deck. It's more of an oracle deck. I like it. Pamela says they're going to party after COVID. Gotcha. Yep. Last week, my son said that some guys on some of the crews that he works on were coming to work with COVID because they couldn't afford to not come to work. And I was like, are you working around these people? And he said, no, they're not guys that I come in contact with, but yikes, big yikes. Okay, the first card, and so that's, looking at like right now for the next month or so, is the Nine of Swords. It's the trust walk. This to me, first of all, look at the spiral. How cool is that? And that, a lot of people walk a spiral over the winter solstice. So kind of interesting. But for me, it's not so much about trust walk, it's about trust. We are in a big energetic shift. We are in a place where things are shifting pretty rapidly in our country. Things are shifting pretty rapidly with COVID. And you might just see things shifting pretty rapidly in your home as well, as far as finances, as far as who lives there, what's going on with you. And we're seeing a lot of changes in employment right now. Some unemployment coming, as well as people just making job changes. So, kind of across the gamut, we're going to see the next month or two quite a few changes come into play. I believe that they will be mostly positive, and that card trust to me really it gives me that sense that right now we are going to have to trust in the process of where we are. We're going to have to trust professionals. We're going to have to trust that we know what's best for ourselves and for our families, and we're going to have to move forward along those lines. If this applies to you pertaining to jobs, I feel like I've heard this from a lot of people lately that go, I don't know. I don't want to, I want to leave this job. I hate this place, but maybe I'm just ungrateful. I mean, at least I have a job. That doesn't mean you have to stay in a shitty job, right? I mean, this yeah, depending on your circumstances, maybe you need to find something before you quit yours, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay in something that isn't good for you. And I feel like with jobs, that trust is really, really key right now, that you trust in yourself and you trust in the process. If you are in the process of applying for jobs right now, take the steps that you need to really shine yourself. Believe in your higher ability. That's one thing I hear from people all the time. You don't trust in your own higher ability. You look at yourself and you've been so beat down by the process of applying and being rejected, or of, being unemployed, or maybe of just having jobs that didn't value you, that you don't recognize the value that you have, that value that you bring to an employer. Amp up that light, amp up that belief in yourself, that knowledge that an employer would be lucky to have you. When you go into interviews and you go into opportunities and you're not feeling it yourself, it's really hard for them to feel you. So get a little chip on your shoulder, get a little swagger, and start believing that. Start talking yourself up. Hey, you know what? I show up. I show up on time. I do what I'm asked to do. I work really well with others. Yeah, an employer would be lucky to have me, right? Or, hey, I have more than the qualifications that you're looking for this job. That makes me a great fit because I bring everything to the table that you're asking for and a little more. An employer would be lucky to have me. It's been hard. Some of you guys that have been looking for a while, it's been hard. You've been rejected a bunch. It sucks. It's not personal. It is so much that we're in a place right now where just so many people are looking. But let's really let that word trust and the idea of trusting in the process, whatever that process is right now for you, really sink in for the next little while. All right. The next card, and this is like halfway through the winter solstice, is the Two of Swords. It is creative differences. Differences is what really comes up for me within this card. This is where we have to start reconciling the differences that we have with other people and coming back together as communities. The last 4 years, but particularly the last year, and most especially the last 6 months, here in the US, we have divided ourselves over and over again. And we're getting to a point right now where we have to knock it off. We have to stop being so tied up in who voted for who, or who believes this, or who doesn't believe that, and start looking at each other more as neighbors, as family members, as people in our community, as parts of our humanity. It's okay for you to have strong opinions and feelings about things. It's okay for you to not have to look at other people's stuff on social media that's upsetting and drives you crazy. Nothing is wrong with that. It's not okay for us to continue to allow this kind of energy to keep us so divided. Somehow, some way, we have to start finding some common ground. We have to come back to a place of civility. We have to come back to a place of kindness. And I'm not just talking about politics, I'm talking about in general. We have seen a huge uptick the last while in people behaving badly in public with other people. Unthinkable rudeness at stores and in restaurants and with neighbors. And those are the things that we have to start finding a way to end. Now, I know I'm singing to the choir. You're not the guys doing that anyway. However, we all have to start putting a spotlight on being good to each other, being kind, taking care of each other, being better. We can all be better. And I feel like coming into the January into February, we got to do that. We've got to be a part of that. And that makes me laugh because the last card of the winter solstice is the seven, it's the chariot, and the card is agent of change. And I think that's really important right now because you guys are agents of change, whether you know it or not. You're an agent of change in your family and in your community. And right now, we need that. We need the agents of change to speak up and say, I'm not going to allow division. I'm not going to allow unkindness. I'm not going to allow people beating up on each other. I'm not going to be a part of it. I am going to be a part of the solution. On top of that, we have to really, really consider how many people around us are struggling right now. Financially, you may have people that live right around you that are struggling to put food on the table, that are having a hard time feeding their children, that are having a hard time just meeting their basic needs. And it might not be who you think it is. Because pre-pandemic, people had jobs, they had lives that they loved, they had cars, they had their homes, they had the things they needed. Not all people, but a good deal of people. So that person might still be driving that nice car and living in that nice house, and they might be having a hell of a time feeding their kids because they already had the debt they had, the house they had, the life they had. Now they might not have the job they had or the situation that they had. A lot of things have changed. And so don't assume that you know who whose needs are met and who isn't. You might be surprised by whose aren't. But then again, you know, paying attention to those. One, I think, very sad thing that's happened throughout the pandemic is that some of our typical causes, things that we've cared about in the past, have kind of fallen by the wayside. We still have a huge homelessness problem in this country. We still have a huge homeless problem here in the US, at least, with homeless veterans. We still have a lot of hunger problems that were there long before the pandemic and are still there now. There is still plenty for us to focus on when we're talking about charity and philanthropy and just helping people around us. So, this time, this period, I think we're all being called forward as leaders to start looking at the mess around us and starting to make some changes ourselves, figuring out what we can do to be a part of the solution and help. So that's where it's at for me. I'm going to jump into the chat room here. I do want to take a few questions. We've got about 10 minutes left. Let's see. All right, Lynn, you would love for me to tap into your daughter and to you. Let's take a look at that daughter first. Ooh. She's sure got a thick, prickly exterior right now, if that makes any sense to you at all, Lynn. She feels to me like she is irritated by the whole world. I feel like she's had some blows that has kind of stiffened her up and maybe created this energy in her. I wonder what, you know, what exactly it is she needs to be able to drop that. I feel like she's having a hard time having anybody near her at this point. She just feels to me like she is pretty off, but also pretty pissed at the world. I would love to do some work to help clear that, all that prickly energy out of her aura to just help her to shed that skin. I probably wouldn't do that without her permission, but that's what I'm seeing for her right now. She's pretty cynical right now. She's been burned. Now let's take a peek at you. Yeah, you're feeling pretty misunderstood right now by family members, probably her, but other people too. I feel like you have a couple of health concerns, not major ones, but ones that are needing your attention right now. And it's keeping you, kind of having to pay attention to you for a little bit, even though I know you have those around you who have a great need for your time and attention all the time. Those are the things that come up strong for me. Lynn, I think you're gonna have to be really good at keeping some boundaries here in the next 6 months or so with people around you as you take care of your own body and your own needs, that you're just really clear with people about what you really can and can't take on, because I just see it almost looks at me like everybody, like, yapping at you or, nipping at your coattails trying to get your attention, you know? I think some family that you haven't had contact with in a while are going to be reaching back out, kinda trying to pour a little guilt on you. Just don't allow them to go there. Just don't do it. Don't let them under your skin. You don't deserve that at all. But that's what I see kind of in your path right now, Lynn, for sure. But let's take care of you. You need that. You deserve that. Okay. Lillian said, I do have one question. Is anything possible even though a door may be closed now? Yeah, anything is possible. So often, just because a door is closed now, just because a situation is not possible currently, it doesn't mean that things can't shift in the future. My best advice on that, Liliane, is that you keep living. You keep taking care of you. You keep having fun. You keep doing things that bring joy into your life. You keep doing the things that make you feel good about yourself and about your situation. And you trust that if that door is meant to reopen, it will. The mistake here, I think, would be to work too hard for it, to try to force something to happen. That won't be in your best interest at all. So watch, pay attention, and keep on living. Don't put anything on hold for this situation right now. That would be the mistake. But do I believe that anything can happen? Oh, I do, because I've seen it so many times. Yep. Okay. Lynn said, is there a specialness about today's date? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not a numerologist. So probably not the right person to ask on that, but maybe. There's lots of twos. Oh, that's true. 12, 22, 2020. There are a lot of twos. So what is the two angel number? I'm going to have to look it up. And I will tell you. Two is usually associated with harmony, balance, consideration, and love. When this number comes to you, it means you should have more faith in your angels. It also means cooperation and peace, and so many good things are on the way. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, there is something special about this date because moving out of the winter solstice yesterday and into today, we do know that there is change on the way. We do know that there's a lightness and a brightness coming with this solar or with this equinox solstice. Wow. That we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for the shift, for this lightning to come. And so, yeah, I would say that today is a good harbinger of that, wouldn't you? I like that a lot. Okay, let's see. Jackie, it's so good to see you. I hope you guys are well. And hello, JR. Let's see. Let's see. Mary, if time, I'd like a tap. If not, next time, maybe. Mary, what can I do for you? If you have something a little more specific for me, let me grab it. Uh, if not, I might just come back to you here in a minute and just do a bit. Oh, just tapping into you. Oh, okay. Sorry. Got it. I got that from the next comment. Abby, thank you for reading my mind and helping me clear that up. Yeah, Mary, I'd be glad to, I'd be glad to do that. Did I mention I'm a little scattered? Yeah. All right, Mary, let's tune in. Damn, Mary, you are so psychic, girl. Your third eye is so big. Now, that's a part of your I know, and you're going, am I psychic? Yeah, you are. You have a lot of psychic energy. I think you were born with that third eye like that. You look to me like one of those kids who was like you were like 40 when you were 7, super wise beyond your years, probably didn't, uh, get along with all adults because they didn't like that. Uh, but super, super intuitive, uh, but and empathic though, and man, it's been so hard for empaths lately. The energy recently has been so crappy and hard for empaths, just big roller coasters of feeling great and then feeling pretty terrible. The things that come up for me, though, for you, really, Mary, are that you are so, that psychic energy is so strong right now. I would really like to see you doing plenty of writing. I would like to see you doing some studying over the winter solstice into any kind of psychic gift or healing art that you're drawn to, even ancient ones, because there's a lot of ancient wisdom there too that you could be tapping into. But I feel like those are things that would help you to continue to draw that psychic energy forward and help you to be able to really, use it to your benefit. Huh. Love that. If I could draw, I can't draw, but if I could draw your your third eye, it would be like a big purple star in your forehead. It's unique. It's really unique. All right. Abby said, I'm curious to know what you're tapping into with me. And Abby, again, thanks for reading my mind and posting that so that I knew what to do with Mary. All right. Let's take a peek. God, Abby, you're so nice. You're so nice all the time, and you're so sick of being nice all the time. I feel like you were raised in a way that you were told little girls have to be nice. You got to be nice. But you've been nice. You've been too nice. It's the empath in you, too, that you don't like to hurt other people, which is fine. But you've gotten better at saying no over the last few years and gotten a little tougher that way. I feel like this is the time for you to stop letting other people take advantage of you. This is the time for you to really learn that no is a whole sentence. This is the time for you to get really tough about your boundaries with other people and what you're going to allow. I feel like this may have to do with men or even past exes in your life. I feel like this could have to do with employers as well. That there's a big message here for you that you've got to stand up for yourself more. You have got to allow less of the abuse of your time and your energy than you have in the past. I feel like as you do that, you just more attract more and more just brilliant things into your life. You are so smart and talented. And I just look at you and go, you need to be elevated by the right people so that you can shine both in relationships, but also most in the workplace too. There's just, you have so much potential. But people that will grab your ankle and pull you down are the ones that want to benefit from you without really being reciprocal. So, big message here for you about Abby, about you being really uh, tough, saying no, and not just to no, I don't have time to do that today, but really, no, I'm not going to work for less money than I'm worth. No, I'm not going to allow people in my life that abuse my time or my energy. No, I'm not, because I am better than that. I don't deserve that, because you are. Okay. Ali Shaya would appreciate prayers. She said, my daughter, whom I live with, Ariana, was diagnosed with the virus. So Michael and I are all in need of healing prayers. My immune system is already compromised and I have no medical insurance. Never even mentioned that we are quarantined during Christmas. Yeah, never to mention yeah, for sure. Okay. So, and actually, there's a couple of prayers here that I would like to be able to add to that, because Jane also said that her mother has just been put back in the hospital. So I'm so sorry to hear that, Jane. So if you guys would just join me here for a minute, let's take a look at the Bellows as well as Jane's mom and send a lot of love and healing their way. See what we can do to help amplify their vibes and just help everybody to lighten up. And I'm so sorry, guys. It sucks to have sick family members, most especially this time of year, but ever for sure. All right. So just collectively, we're sending our love and our hugs to you guys and our intentions that we see everyone heal up quickly. And Alishaya, I'm going to hold the energy really high that you and Michael don't get it. It happens. Yep. Oh, Abby said, oh, I needed that. Thanks. You're so very welcome. Absolutely. Mary, you're welcome as well. Absolutely. My honor. And Lillian said, I was hoping you would say just that. I've been so depressed over this. I will try to make myself happier and hope that the door reopens in time. Yep. That's what you can do, my friend. That's what you can do. Jackie, I am also looking forward to lighter energy. I am tired. I'm so tired of this roller coaster. I'm tired of 1 minute feeling like, wow, this is good. And then later in the afternoon wondering why I am so flat and can't get off the couch. But it's collective and it is going to get better. So, you guys, we've done it. We've talked down to the end of the show. I will be back next Tuesday, same time, same places. 1-2 Radio will still be dark for one more week, but I'm still going to come back and do my show just like this. Have a wonderful holiday, however you choose to celebrate. It is my honor to be here with you guys for sure. You may know and may not that I'm a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. And I read over there literally every single day. So if you need something from me, please come over and check it out. And again, next week, I'll talk a little more about those 12-month readings, and I'll post a link in case you want to buy one and have a 12-month reading from me. 12-month. I'm not sure what I said. That will be the time to do it. So thanks you guys so much. I love you. Have a good holiday and take care. Bye-bye.